Something mysterious is happening in Israel. Various biblical prophecies from the Third Temple to strange trumpet-like sounds in the sky are happening. What do these ancient prophecies define? So let's dive into this video today to learn more about these enigmatic occurrences and the intriguing prophecies that surround them. Here we begin. God's promise to give the land to the Jewish people is a big deal, and there's no doubt about it. They have a strong claim to the land because it goes way back to ancient times, and God himself gave them the land, as we can find in the Bible. In Genesis 12:7, God made a promise to Abram, who had just arrived in Canaan. He said, "To your offspring I will give this land." Later, in Genesis 15:18, God expanded on that promise, saying, "To your descendants I have given this land, from the river of Egypt to the great river, the river Euphrates." Then in Genesis 17:8, God repeated the promise to Abraham, clarifying that the land gift is forever. "The whole land of Canaan, where you now live as a foreigner, I will give as an everlasting possession to you and your descendants after you." God later told the same thing to Isaac, Genesis 26:3-4, and Jacob, whose name God later changed to Israel, Genesis 28:13. So, in the Abrahamic covenant, God laid out the whole territory belonging to the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This area stretched from Egypt to Iraq, including all of Canaan. When the time came for the Israelites to take over the Promised Land, God described a vast area, from the Negev wilderness in the south to the Lebanon mountains in the north, from the Euphrates River in the east to the Mediterranean Sea in the west. This promise was permanent. Even when Israel was forced to leave their land, God promised they would come back. "Even if you've been sent to the farthest land under the heavens, the Lord your God will gather you and bring you back. He will return you to the land that belonged to your ancestors, and you will take possession of it." Deuteronomy 30:4-5. This promise is sometimes called the Palestinian Covenant or the Land Covenant. The Land Covenant anticipated Israel's removal from their land, like the Babylonian captivity in 586 BC and the Roman destruction of Jerusalem in AD 70. Both times, the promise of the covenant held true, and the Jews got their land back. They are still in their land today, just as God promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. According to Genesis 15:18 and Joshua 1:4, the land God gave to Israel included everything from the Nile River in Egypt to Lebanon, south to north, and everything from the Mediterranean Sea to the Euphrates River, west to east. On today's map, the land that belongs to Israel covers all of modern-day Israel, along with the land occupied by the Palestinians, the West Bank and Gaza, plus some of Egypt and Syria, and even parts of Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and Iraq. So Israel currently has only a part of the land God promised them. The rest is likely waiting for the return of the Messiah, Jesus Christ. God has promised that Israel will remain as long as the sun shines by day and the stars shine by night, Jeremiah 31:35-37. And on that God's land, various prophecies have been taking place, which are mysterious as well as terrifying. One such prophecy is constructing a third temple and its water libation ceremony. The building of the third temple is an important prophecy coming in the future. The book of Ezekiel talks about this temple in Jerusalem, giving precise measurements and instructions. It shows that the planning of this temple is very careful, and it has divine significance. In the book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 27, talks about making a covenant and starting sacrifices and offerings. This suggests the existence of a temple in Israel. Recently, on the 12th of October, a special water tradition related to the Third Temple was performed. This tradition involves priests, Levites, music, dances, and chants. They started at Shahar Hashpot in Jerusalem's Old City and went to Shiloh, where they collected water in a golden jug. Then they recreated an ancient temple altar and tools on a mountain peak. The ceremony included a special blessing and a 7-year ritual. This water ceremony isn't mentioned in the Torah, but it is a cherished tradition and a joyful holiday. In the temple, this ceremony used to last for 15 hours, continuing into the next morning. People from various nations participate in Sukkot celebrations, turning it into an international day of worship. The water ceremony occurs during the last 6 days of the Sukkot holiday, alongside wine pouring during the morning service. Kohanim carries spring water from the temple to the Shiloh spring at the base of Mount Moriah. 2 Kohanim then climb to the stone altar in the temple's inner courtyard to pour wine and water into designated openings as part of the ritual. This tradition happened and helped connect people to ancient times and prophecies about the Third Temple. Also, during the holy prophecy of the Third Temple, another terrifying prophecy took place. Mysterious trumpet sounds were heard. Recently, there have been reports of strange sounds in the sky, often called sky trumpets or skyquakes. People worldwide, such as the United States, Canada, Costa Rica, Russia, the Czech Republic, and Australia, have heard unusual low-frequency noises. These sounds appear to come from the sky above or even beneath the earth. These noises are unsettling because they are unlike anything people have heard before. They have a deep, groaning quality, sometimes mixed with metallic vibrations similar to musical instruments. Sometimes people claim to hear indistinct voices along with the sounds. There are several theories about the origin of these mysterious sounds. Some suggest they result from natural phenomena, such as solar plasma interacting with the Earth's magnetic field. Others propose that the sounds could be linked to tectonic plate movement or shifts in the Earth's magnetic pole. If these sounds are of natural origin, one might wonder why they have only been reported recently, beginning around March 2011. UFO enthusiasts have another perspective, seeing these sounds as potential evidence of extraterrestrial visitors to our planet. However, many videos of these sky trumpet phenomena found on the internet are believed to be hoaxes. Some people might create these videos by altering audio and featuring their friends reacting to the sky, thereby tricking viewers. Apart from hoaxes, there are suggestions that the sounds may have industrial or military causes. For instance, one Canadian city explained that the so-called sky trumpets heard there were simply the sound of a city worker performing maintenance on heavy equipment. Conspiracy theories also circulate on the internet, often involving top-secret government projects like HARP and Project Bluebeam. Depending on the sources, these projects are believed to have various purposes, from controlling the weather to using microwaves for harmful purposes, or attempting to create a new world order by simulating the second coming of Christ. These theories often provoke speculation and uncertainty among those trying to understand the origin of these puzzling sounds. And there are some people who believe the strange sounds in the sky, known as sky trumpets, carry spiritual significance. For some, these noises are thought to be demonic in origin, a way for the forces of evil to frighten and bewilder people. Conversely, others see the sky trumpets as divine signals, warning us that we live in the last days. The Bible does include significant references to trumpets in various events. For instance, when God gave the law on Mount Sinai, his presence was accompanied by a very loud trumpet blast, causing fear and trembling among the people. Exodus 19:16. The sound of the trumpet continued to intensify as the events unfolded. Exodus 19:19. In another instance, the Bible mentions that the rapture of the church will take place when the trumpet will sound, the dead will be raised imperishable, and we will be changed. 1 Corinthians 15:52. Jesus also spoke about the use of trumpets in the future. He mentioned that at his second coming, he will send his angels with a loud trumpet call, and they will gather his elect from the four winds. Matthew 24:31. Jesus also spoke of fearful events and great signs from heaven. Luke 21:11. Additionally, during the tribulation period, 7 angels who had the 7 trumpets appear in Revelation. Each time one of these angels blows a trumpet, it signals a new judgment upon the earth. Revelation 8:9. While some see these sky trumpets as potential harbingers of the end times, it's essential to note that they cannot be the last trumpet mentioned in 1 Corinthians 15:52 because the rapture has not taken place. These sounds also cannot be equated with the 7 trumpets of Revelation because the tribulation period has not yet occurred. In all likelihood, the most plausible explanations for these sky trumpets, in a biblical context, are that they are either natural or man-made. Whether they are pranks by individuals, the result of changes in the Earth's magnetic field, or connected to global conspiracies, we cannot say for sure. The fact remains that the true role, if any, of these sky trumpets in the end times is unknown. What we do know, based on the Bible, is that the days preceding the rapture will be marked by increased wickedness and widespread false teaching. After the rapture, this deception and wickedness are expected to intensify. The only way to find hope amid this confusion is to have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ and eagerly await his imminent return for his followers. So, what do you think of these mysterious events happening in Israel? Comment below and subscribe for more.